whatever vision you have, whatever goal you have, okay, whatever goal you have, the you right now, the you that you are right now will not be able to achieve this goal. Okay, because if you were able to achieve this goal with who you are in the present moment, you would have already achieved it. Assalamu alaikum guys, el-asmar here, and in this video I'm going to give you a behind the scenes view into one of our client business launch coaching calls. Now, client business launch is a program we have here at Ummahpreneur which helps entrepreneurs start and grow service-based online businesses. So whether you're a coach, a consultant, or a service provider, this program really helps you take your business and package it, charge high prices, and really grow it to become a profitable full-time gig. Now, this coaching call is one that we hold every week with our students to help them in regards to issues or maybe struggles they're facing in their business. And so I want to give you a behind-the-scenes look into one of these coaching calls that I think will be extremely valuable, where we talk about the cycle of recreation, what that means, and how we can optimize for it to have a successful business and a successful life. And if it's your first time watching a video on this channel, make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell, because we release videos like this every Tuesday and Thursday that will benefit you in your entrepreneurial journey. So enjoy, and I'll see you on the inside. I wanted to talk today, a lot of times I'll talk about practical applications. Okay, we talked about practical applications a lot recently, how to grow a Facebook group. We talked about, we're doing the 30-day challenge, which I'll be continuing, inshallah. So today I want to talk a bit more about theory, and specifically I wanted to talk about the cycle of recreation and what that means exactly. And this is a topic, inshallah, that hopefully will give you guys some value in your business, and it's a topic on mindset. So sometimes I'll cover, and again, the reason why I'm explaining this is because we have a new member. So sometimes I'll cover mindset, sometimes I'll cover specific actionable goals or action steps. Today, we're going to talk about a mindset topic. Riz, mindset coach, feel free to chime in, feel free to steal this and do it for your group, inshallah. So we're going to talk about the cycle of recreation today. And again, if you have any questions, any comments, drop them below, inshallah. So let's go ahead and get started. So right now we're at a time where we're approaching Ramadan. Okay, so we're approaching Ramadan, and it's a time where, of course, we're going through a few things. We have the quarantine. We have this whole virus thing going on right now. This looks like a sun, but I'm trying to draw like a cell. Okay, so bear with me, just the quarantine. We have Ramadan approaching. Okay. And we also have our business. Pretend this is like a book or something. Let's do a bookmark here. Okay, this is a book that I'm showing you. All right, so we have a few things that we're gonna have to juggle, inshallah. And for some of you as well, you're probably juggling as well, family, right? You're probably married, or you might have children, you might have little ones here, and you're gonna have to cook and clean and do a million things. And it's gonna be tough. I'm not going to lie, Ramadan is going to be a bit difficult, right? And I'm not saying difficult in a negative way, as in like, oh, Ramadan is hard because you're fasting. Not at all. I think for that sense, it's awesome, and I'm super excited. What I mean by that is it's going to be difficult to juggle everything like you are right now. And for one main reason, it's that during Ramadan, you're going to be fasting. There's going to be an extra element of change in regards to your lifestyle and in your routine, which brings me to this topic of the cycle of recreation. You see, a lot of times in our life, we are going to go through times like this. When it comes to the quarantine, when it comes to maybe getting married, maybe it comes to you moving somewhere, maybe you got a new job, maybe something happened in your life, maybe you just got a kid, something happened in your life, and all of a sudden you find yourself a bit lost. And I'm sure we can all relate to that, where, you know, we might have a routine going, things are going well, we're productive, we're waking up every day at the same time, we're crushing it in our business. And then all of a sudden a new element, a new variable gets added in, and then everything kind of starts slowly falling apart, right? Like, oh, because there's a new element that has been introduced to this whole cycle of our life, which we now have to adjust to. So why am I talking about the cycle of recreation? Well, what does this have to do with it? Let me go ahead and tell you. I'm going to start with plants and trees and life on earth, and then I'll relate it back to us, inshallah. So with everything in the universe, everything in creation, everything that God has created, if you look outside, if you plant a seed in the earth, okay, and you plant a seed and you water that seed, what happens with that seed is that seed will slowly start to open up. It's slowly going to start to split, and it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's going to crack open eventually. And there's going to be a stem that slowly grows, and it's going to grow and it's going to grow until it finally goes on top of the earth and becomes a plant and continues to grow from there. Now, an interesting thing happens during this process. Okay, when that seed is growing and when it becomes a plant, an interesting thing happens. It's that seed that you planted, okay, that seed that you planted is going to transform, grow, and eventually break open. And whatever cells were present when you first planted that seed are completely gone, and they are now new cells that you have here, okay, that make up this huge big seed that cracked open. So whatever you put in the earth and whatever comes out of it when it becomes a plant is not the same. So that same seed that you planted, a few months ago in the earth, and you watered it and you wanted it to grow, when you finally see that plant growing and you see the fruit of it, it finally gives you fruit. That's not the same seed that you planted, right? The cells that were present there are not present anymore. They were changed. They were transformed. The whole process of photosynthesis with plants, all these cells are constantly being transformed and recreated. And I can even relate it to something as simple as our hair, right? Like the hair that grows on our heads. And I'm saying that because I was thinking about that when we did a haircut. I did a haircut recently, and it's your hair is constantly growing, and it's pushing out from the cell, right? But then that hair that you have, I'm sure you've all noticed, will fall, right? It naturally falls, whether after you take a shower, whether you brush your hair, you're going to see there's hair falling, but then there's constantly new hairs being regrown. Why? Is because whatever was present there before, that seed, that hair that fell off, needs to go to make room for the new life, new creation, a new phase in your business, a new version of yourself, okay? And the reason why I'm telling you this is because this whole cycle of creation and recreation is present in all creation and in all the universe, everything around us that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created is in cycles, right? And even in verses of the Quran, you will read that so many verses of when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, do they not look around them at how God brings back to life all the plants every year after they have died, right? And for me, who lives in Canada, and outside right now, everything is completely dead because we have something called winter. And winter here is very harsh. We have snowstorms and we have ice storms. And when these things happen, everything dies. The leaves fall, the trees go bare, the grass gets yellow. But every year, once the snow melts, new leaves grow once more, and new grass will grow once more. Why am I talking about this? Why am I talking about leaves and plants in nature? It's because right now, with Ramadan fast approaching, with the whole quarantine thing happening, we have certain goals that we want to achieve. Okay, we have certain objectives in our business, in our life, that inshallah we want to get to. Okay, we have a certain vision that we want to make into a reality. To be able to do this, whatever vision you have, whatever goal you have, okay, whatever goal you have, the you right now, the you that you are right now, will not be able to achieve this goal. Okay, because if you were able to achieve this goal with who you are in the present moment, you would have already achieved it. Okay, if you in this present moment was already able to achieve this goal, this vision that you have in your mind, you would have already achieved it. But you haven't yet. You're not quite there just yet. Why is that? It's because who you are right now and who you need to be to get to that goal, to get to that objective, to get to that vision are two very different people. They're two very different people. They operate in a different way. They think in a different way. They live their lives in a different way. And if you constantly try to continue being that same person that you are, while also having the benefit, getting that fruit, getting the essentially the rewards, reaping the rewards of that objective that you're striving for, unfortunately, two things are going to happen. You're going to lose yourself, okay? And you're not going to get your objective because you're going to be trying to tear yourself in two different directions. Okay, now when I talk about mindset, a lot of things are metaphorical. A lot of things I have to explain a little bit further. But if you don't understand what I'm saying, just drop it in the comments and we'll continue, inshallah. But I'm going to explain this concept a little bit further. Okay, who I am right now, the things that I know, the things that I've learned, the mentorship that I've gone, the guidance that I've gone, the courses that I've taken have allowed me to get to where I am today, to speak to you, to create this program with my agency. Alhamdulillah, everything has gotten me to where I am today. But now to where I want to go, even in Ramadan, the reason why I'm talking about this before Ramadan is because now in Ramadan, we have an extra equation. We have fasting. We have this whole quarantine thing going on. We want to balance spirituality, but we also don't want to let our business completely go and fall through the cracks. Okay? We all at least want to maintain a certain level of work on our business to make sure it stays alive. I know Ramadan is a time of spirituality and that's what we'll focus on, of course, but you also can't just abandon everything. So right now with Ramadan coming up, it's going to require a version of you that is capable of juggling everything that is going to happen during Ramadan, which is your fasting, your business. It's going to be this whole quarantine situation, and maybe a few more things if you have children, if you have a husband, if you have a family. And so it's going to require a new version of you. Now, if right now who you are is you're someone that wakes up at a certain time, right? And you have a certain routine going and you have a certain lifestyle and it's working well for you. I know I did before this whole quarantine thing. And when this happened, it really kind of took my whole routine and threw it down the drain. And I'm sure you guys can relate. For anyone that had a routine, anyone that had like a solid lifestyle going, when this whole quarantine thing happened, I'm sure a lot of our routines were affected. And when that happened, for a really long time, I was resisting the change. And what I mean by that is I was still trying to kind of wake up at the same time as I used to before when I used to go to the gym. And I'm really trying hard to maintain that same level of productivity. And I was trying hard to maintain the exact same lifestyle, but without being able to do the things that I used to do. And it wasn't working. Like I was really struggling. It wasn't working. And my productivity went down the drain. And even kind of my mindset went down the drain. Why is that? It's because I was put in a new situation, but I was trying to really badly hold on to who I was right before this happened. I was really badly trying to hold on to this. And so what happened was there was no connection here. Okay. The transition was not smooth and I was not able to instead proactively adjust to the current situation and make the most of it. Right. And so the reason why I wanted to call this session the cycle of recreation is because for every single goal you want to achieve, for every single objective that you have in your life, for every single vision that you want to transform into reality, that goal will require a different version of you than the you that is present right now, than who you are right now. And if you are resistant to that change, if you're not ready to make that change, to make that transformation, then unfortunately you won't be able to get that goal. And if you want both, what's going to happen is you're going to feel really depressed and you're going to struggle because that's something that you constantly want, but you also can't let go of who you are right now. And you're kind of like tugging at two different ropes and you're tearing yourself apart. So the only way to get to where you want to be is to be the person that is able to get there. And we kind of talk about that in week 2 of mindset, which the goals, vision, and identity module. And it's really about thinking hard about who do I need to be in this very moment? What kind of habits do I need to have? What kind of person should I be that will be able to get the most of it? And a lot of times, guys, we have the answer within us, right? Like you have the answer within you. And it's really just a matter of taking a pause, taking a break to walk back for a second and truly think about it and meditate on it. And if you take the time to think about, okay, I'm in this situation right now. How can I make the most of it? And how can I really be able to achieve the goals that I want in a way that still makes me happy, right? So, and in different contexts, to kind of give you more examples, for example, I'm someone who really loves to play games, and I honestly love to waste time. I mean, who doesn't, right? Like, who doesn't love to watch TV shows? And as a guy, I love to play games too, and do things that feel good, right? That like trigger our dopamine levels, everyone loves to do that. But the thing is, I know that doing that is not going to get me to where I want to be. That person that is constantly watching TV shows and wasting his time in front of the TV, that person is not the type of person that is going to be able to achieve what I'm trying to achieve right now. And so I need to live my life a certain way, and I need to be able to accept that other people are going to have fun watching Urtughul and these other TV shows and binging them. And I just have to accept as a reality of my life that I can't have everything. And so I need to choose, what do I want to have? Who do I need to be to get that thing? And then I need to be that person. Okay, so that's the cycle of recreation. And you might think that it's only something you have to do once, but it's something you're going to have to do constantly. And that is the hardest part of this whole thing, guys. It's that this is something that you actually have to do constantly. And I'm gonna bring a little reference to Greek mythology right now. In Greek mythology, there's this thing called the world-eating serpent, and it's like this snake that eats its own tail. Okay, it's like this kind of snake-looking thing, and it's a ring like this. I think I even have it as my background as a reminder. There you go. So in Greek mythology, there's this creature, the snake eating its own tail, and this whole thing symbolizes that cycle of constant recreation, where as soon as let's say right now you've adjusted yourself in this quarantine, you're now realizing, oh wow, in 4 days it's Ramadan. Now I need to again recreate a new version of myself that will inshallah get the most out of Ramadan, not abandon my business completely, still be productive, and do the things that I want to do, right? And then after Ramadan is done, now Ramadan is off, and now it's back to business. And now again, you have to recreate yourself. What kind of version do I need to be to get to that point, to make the most out of this time? You get a kid. Oh, now I have a kid. I need to factor that in. And if you have resistance to that, if you're like trying to maintain the same routine and productivity you have right now, let's say as a single person or a single parent or just a parent with no children, to let's say when you have kids, you're not going to be able to. And what that's going to happen is it's just everything is going to go down the drain. And I'm saying this because I'm speaking from personal experience, and I'm speaking to myself first and foremost, because there's so many things that happened in my life that I had a resistance to. I was very resistant to change. I wanted to always be this 110% high performer. And that has caused me a lot of trouble. It's caused me trouble in my relationships. It's caused me trouble in my friendships. And it really, the consequences are a lot more than just your business. And so one important thing to keep in mind is that if there's one thing you can retain from this lesson today, inshallah, it's that with everything in life and everything around us in the universe and everything that God subhanahu wa ta'ala has created, everything is created through a cycle of recreation. Everything is created around this whole concept of it's a constant recreation. It's a constant death and rebirth. And even our lives, we know that we are going to die, then we will be raised again, right? Everything in the universe operates through this sphere of recreation. And we have to understand that even in our personal lives, on the day-to-day, we will constantly have to follow this pattern and optimize for it. And when we realize that, and we realize that we need to constantly recreate ourselves and the version of ourselves in this very moment that is capable of achieving what we want to achieve, then that's when we'll be the most happy, inshallah. And that's when we will truly reap the most benefit out of every single moment of our lives. Okay, so I'm giving you this right now before we enter Ramadan so that you can remember. I know, Ruqayya, you just joined the group, you just joined. So I'm telling you right now, I'm giving it to you straight. Who you are right now and who you need to be to crush in your business are two different people. And inshallah, we're going to help you get there. We're going to help you become that person, and for everyone else here as well. And the same thing with me, for the type of person that I need to be to grow this brand and this program and to get to the vision that I have and who I am right now, it's two different people. But the only way I'm going to get to that, it's not one shot. That's the thing. That's the illusion. It's that you can't go from who you are right now to this huge success story or whatever it is you have in your mind just one shot. Like, all right, from one day to the next, I'm going to be this hyper productive person. I'm going to be like crushing everything. I'm going to be like waking up at 5 a.m., sleeping at 11 p.m. And I'm going to be hyper productive and get clients and make money and do a million things. It doesn't happen like that. Throughout this whole thing is a journey, right? This whole thing is a journey. It's a constant battle. And I'll be honest, there's also one thing that you see here, and I think it's an extra symbolism. It's how there's an up and a down, an up and a down. And what you realize is this: because it's a circle, you'll realize this in your cycle of recreation, that you're gonna start at point A. Okay, you're gonna start where you are right now. You're gonna go down. You're gonna maybe experience a point where you're like, okay, this is not really where I want to be in life. I'm pretty uncomfortable, so I need to make a change. You're gonna start making changes, and you're gonna see that, okay, things are going well. My business is growing. You know, the things that I want to achieve, I'm slowly achieving. I'm hitting my goals, and you're gonna be going up and up and up until at one point you've maxed out. You've now gone to a point where who you are right now, the abilities, the knowledge, the habits that you've created to get that little uptick have gotten you this far. And at some point you're gonna plateau, and you're gonna start to realize you're actually slowing down a little bit. And you're like, oh no, I'm slowing down. That means I need to make some changes. And then you're gonna make some changes, and those changes, because you've just made them, you're not used to them, are gonna cause you to go down in productivity and performance and whatever it is. And then you're gonna realize, then you're slowly gonna get the hang of it. You're gonna realize, okay, this is what I need to do to adjust. And you're going to go up again, and then you're going to go a little bit higher this time. You're going to, because now you're taking your past experiences and you're adding them to this current cycle. And then again, you're going to hit a plateau. You're going to go down, and then again, you're going to realize, okay, now this is what I need to do to go higher. And you're going to take all of these past experiences and you're going to use them to go higher. You're going to use them to go higher until you get to a point where that person who you are right now and who you need to be, you finally reach it, insha'Allah. And the truth is, I'll be completely honest, you're actually never going to reach it. If you're really sincere about who you want to be, and if you're really sincere about what you want to achieve in life, chances are you're probably never going to reach it, because the more you grow, the more that vision continues to grow with you. And that is the only thing that keeps you going, right? Even when it comes to our spirituality, our faith, you know, at first you start off, you're not praying so well. You're like, all right, I'm going to pray 5 times a day. And now you're praying 5 times a day, and you're getting that spiritual high, right? Like you're getting that spiritual high. You're praying 5 times a day, and it's giving you that iman boost that you need. And man, you feel great. But then what happens after a while? You're praying these 5 times a day consistently, and then all of a sudden that initial iman boost you got, that initial like spiritual connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you got, slowly starts to fade. That sweetness of it, you start to slowly lose. And then what happens is, because you now have implemented this, you're consistent. Now it's time to implement something else. Now it's time to add something else to revive that boost of spirituality, that boost of faith, of sweetness of iman in your heart. And so what you need to do is you need to add something else. You're going to struggle at first, and then you're going to get it. That's going to lead you to go higher. But then again, you're going to plateau, and you need to add something else again. And this cycle is constant, whether it's in religion, whether it's in business, whether it's in spirituality and self-development. This constant cycle of creation and recreation is constant and is present in all things around us. And so if we understand that this cycle is present, and we understand how to leverage this cycle to our advantage, that's when we can truly live our most fulfilled and best lives, insha'Allah. And so this is why I want to talk about this today, because we're approaching Ramadan. It's going to require a new version of ourselves, right? And whether it's spiritually, things that you want to work on in your business, or even personally in terms of your character, that's going to require a different version of you. And then after that, it's going to require another different version of you. And every time you hit a milestone, every time you achieve something in your life, it's going to require a different version of you. And you have to understand that, and you have to constantly adapt and willingly take the time to also take a break, meditate, and realize, okay, what kind of habits do I need to put in place? What kind of person do I need to be to make the most out of the current situation? Instead of resisting change and always trying to be who you are, right? Like, I still want to have a 6-figure business while also binging my favorite TV shows. That's not going to happen. That's realistically probably not going to happen. So you need to be able to let go of who you were previously, because that person, that's cool. That got you to where you are today. But now if you want to go further, you need to become a new person. You need to have new habits. You need to change who you are. Okay. And in this cycle, again, a really key part of it is constantly absorbing your previous experiences. And that's, again, kind of the visualization. And the reason why I use this serpent from Greek mythology, because I just think it's really well visualized in terms of this serpent, by eating its own tail, eating itself, it's kind of absorbing its previous experiences to be created anew. And then again, that new version, again, it's absorbing its previous experiences, and again, it's being created anew, and it's absorbing and it's being created anew. So again, it's that constant cycle, guys. So if you can understand this cycle, if you can pretty much adapt to it and realize that you are constantly going to have to recreate yourself, and of course, in a metaphorical, I'm not saying actually recreate. So in a metaphorical sense, that's when you can truly, insha'Allah, hit those milestones and be the best version of you that you can be. And again, the more you evolve, the more your vision evolves, the more your goals evolve, and it'll never, if you're truly working and if you're truly moving forward, that vision will never be achieved. That goal will never be achieved because it will constantly evolve with you. The more milestones you reach, the bigger milestones you're going to want to reach. And so that's also a key part, is appreciating the journey, appreciating the cycle, enjoying the cycle, and constantly keeping in mind that the purpose of this is to become a higher version of yourself, a better version of yourself, spiritually, financially, personally. It's not to really get to that goal. That goal is secondary, but what really makes a huge difference in your life, what's really going to transform you in this whole journey, is who you are, who you become when you hit those goals, when you hit that achievement, that person that you've become through that journey. That's what really matters. That's what really is going to make you happy, inshallah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this live. That's all I'll say for today. I'll keep it here. I think I've given enough examples. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Let me know if you have any remarks. But we'll close it here, inshallah, for this topic. How did you guys enjoy it? Did you guys like it? Did you resonate with it? Were you able to have any takeaways? Let me know in the comments, inshallah. And let me know if you have any questions before we end the live coaching call. All right, guys, that was it for this coaching call preview. I hope you enjoyed it and got a ton of value. If you want to learn more about the Client Business Launch Program and how it can help you start your own online business, then I'll drop a link to it in the description below this video. And as always, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because I release videos like this every week to help you in your entrepreneurial journey. I'll see you in the next one. Assalamu alaikum.